Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a shit one. So I've made videos before about how to go out and make money with photography. And I still get questions all the time like, how do I start getting clients? Like, how is the best way for me to start getting clients and then I can charge money for my photo shoots or my video work? I know for a lot of people, using their camera is their main source of income. And maybe as an amateur photographer, that's something that you aspire to do, is become a freelance photographer and charge money for shoots. But let me tell you a quick story about a good friend of mine, Jack, who I've known for years, and we've done heaps of photo shoots together, and why it is so important just to go out, have fun and shoot, and not actually expect anything in return. I've known him for a couple of years now, and we've caused a lot of trouble together, and we've gone out and taken heaps of photos together. Jack and I, when we've gone out and taken photos together, we've just been going out and shooting as friends. We're not like paying each other to do this or anything. We don't expect any form of payment. We're literally just going out on the streets, having a good time, taking photos. That's it, that's all it's ever been. And then naturally over time, the photos that we've gotten, I've posted about it, we've made videos about it, we've done this, we've done that. Other people are just going to see the work that we created together. Because Jack is such a good writer, he actually happens to have sponsorships as well. And one of those sponsorships is actually Harley Davidson, or a branch, a big branch that owns a part of Harley Davidson, I think. You know, they've got a finger in Harley Davidson and a bunch of other brands as well. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So a guy by the name of Mick, he reached out to me and he said, hey Mike, I've seen all the work you've done with Jack and I work for Harley Davidson, and actually we've got this new Harley called the Livewire. It's a fully electric bike. Can I get you to take some photos of it? So as you can see, we've gone out taking photos with Jack, nothing in return, and then now it's actually turned into a job. My advice for anyone starting out with photography would just be to take photos with your friends, your family members, maybe your uncle or your auntie or your second cousins or something, or maybe a family friend of an uncle, of a brother, your sister's dog's mum's best friend needs photos done. Just go out and shoot. You know what I mean? Stay consistent with that, and then things will open up from there. But don't expect to get jobs from doing that. You should just be going out to shoot for fun. Does that make sense? I hope I got my point across. But anyway, let's just get to it. How's it going, man? There it is. We're just waiting for it to get a little bit darker right now. But in the meantime, I've just been sort of walking around the bike just to check for its best angle. Kind of like a girl at a party, you know? No.
Steal my joke. I literally said that 2 seconds ago. You fucking think you're funny.
Cut Liam out. So I've got the tripod out now. I'm gonna take the hero shot. I'm gonna bring the ISO down heaps, probably like 100 or 200 or something like that. Just so I can minimize the amount of grain in my shot. Usually for cars, if you're shooting a car or something, you want a higher aperture because obviously the car's length, if you focus on the front of the car, the back's gonna be out of focus, but because the length of a bike is much shorter, I can shoot at an aperture of like f2 and still get a nice depth of field in the background and have the bike nice and in focus still because of just the way that bikes are. I don't know how to explain it. Mick's turned the light on now. I've made plenty of other videos about this, but when I do long exposures with a tripod, there's a 3 photo system that I use. So I use one photo well exposed of my subject and the background and just the whole image, and then we'll turn the lights on. I'll get a high shutter speed shot just to expose for the lights, and then I'll get one more a long exposure so I can get the lights on the ground to get all of that to put in later, basically. So it's 3 photos together to make one shot. So this is a sport mode pull, is it? Yeah, go for it. What? What? Nah, people are gonna think that's sped up, bro. That's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
That's fucked.
Alright, ready? You think that's good? Ready?
Yeah, ready? Watch this.
2, 1.
What? Bit. This is the thing I love most about photographing bikes compared to cars, is that you can just fit them anywhere, pretty much, you know what I mean? A car, like, you just never be able to bring to a spot like this, and considering the brief for tonight is to shoot something that is very iconic to Melbourne, there's nothing really more iconic than shooting with the whole city in the background. That is a fucking shot and a half.
35, straight up.
Yeah.
35mm.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some of these photos. Great shoot overall. We actually went to a few more locations that I didn't put in the video here, but I think that the main point that I wanted to get across for this video was to show the backstory on how I actually got the shoot in the first place. And then I just wanted to talk right now about how I priced it and the reason why I priced this shoot at the cost that I did. To keep this really professional with Mick, I actually made a PDF document of all the locations and what the aim was for the night. And that's just so it can help Mick visualize basically what the plan was for the night. So you don't have to do that. That is something that I like to do. I guess it just makes you look way more professional. So we're just gonna have a quick skim through the photos, and then I'll show you some of my favorite photos from the actual shoot. But just quickly, I just wanna let you know that all these photos that you see are edited with my Lightroom presets. This one's edited with City Warmth. Put the preset on, change the temperature and up the exposure, and then just did a lot of little fine adjustments to the colors and little brush strokes here and there. Actually, quite a lot. I did quite a lot, but that's basically the base of it. And then I got to something like this. But the main style of the image was built on the preset City Warmth. So if you want to get those, they're linked in my description. They come in a pack of 25. They have 25 walkthrough tutorials and 25 of my raw photos. This is probably one of my favorite shots as well because I like the Gotham look that the image gives off. It gives like a very Batman Gotham vibe with the whole clouds and the building here symmetrically aligned and then the bikes parked there. If this bike was lowered or it was on airbags or something, it would literally look like something Batman would ride. I really did want it to rain for this photo shoot because then you would have got this nice glaze on the ground. Everything's just so much better when it rains, basically. This is the main hero shot of the night. And when I mean hero shot, it's like basically the front cover shot. You know, the shot that you'd look at if you were looking at this in an article. This would have to be like the Harley Davidson live wire, and this would be the photo that complements that. Do you know what I mean? Right, so this next photo was probably going to be the hardest photo that I envisioned for the photo shoot. I wasn't actually expecting this one to work out at all, but I'm really glad that it did. So when we went out and shot this, it took ages because I needed a shot of him sitting there on the bike and a tram going past, and we actually needed a tram to come past this way. But we sat there for maybe a good half an hour and no trams came past this way. So I masked around Mick. Here's the bike here and him on the handlebars over here, and I just basically went around his whole body and cut out the actual tram, flipped it, and then put it over the original image to make something like this. And I think it looks really realistic. This is probably the most fuck off photo of the night. I'm really happy with it, actually. I wasn't actually expecting it to work out, and that's why it's so much better, because I was like, there's just no way that I'm gonna be able to do this, and it worked out really good. I then put a little bit of an edit on it, and you got something like this. And then there's a few more around the city here. There's one outside his shop that I got. And there's a few detailed shots here of the bike at the Webb Bridge because it's really nice lighting here. And that pretty much wrapped up the shoot from there. Before anyone flips their shit, straight up, I charged $1,600 Australian for this photo shoot for 10 photos. And I'm actually going to make a little video for him as well, which wasn't mentioned in the email, but I will make that separate, right? But let's just keep this simple. $1,600 Australian, which is about $1,200 US for one night of shooting. And before anyone goes, yeah, that's too much to charge, you're overcharging, just shut the fuck up, okay? Let me explain something. If I'm an amateur photographer, I have no idea what I'm doing, the first client, my first paying job, I'm picking up a camera, I'm not really that comfortable, and I'm going out into the city and shooting, I can't really charge that much money. Maybe a couple $100, $200 for the night. But because I know the city like the back of my hand, and this is not even an ego thing. This is not even like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good photographer, I'm gonna charge this much money. No, it's an actual knowledge and experience thing. So because I know my city, especially at nighttime and what he wanted, that is right up my alley for what I know how to do. Not only are you paying for the photographer's time and service of them actually doing the photo shoot, there's also a knowledge and experience fee that's there as well. And I don't give a fuck if people are gonna sit there and go, oh, okay, this is too expensive, like that's way too much money to charge. It's really not. And again, not an ego thing, not trying to say, oh, look at me, I'm such a good photographer. Because if I was doing like a portrait shoot or a model shoot, I would be charging way less than this because I wouldn't feel as comfortable doing that. But this is something that I know I can execute really well on. And on top of that, we got way more than 10 photos. I think we have at least 20 photos in this batch. The whole price thing, I don't want anyone to get too caught up in that because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video, if you want to get paid to not only shoot motorbikes, to shoot anything, is go out and actually shoot. There is no special switch that you're going to turn on and all these clients and all this money is going to come from all this success. There's no secret sauce to any of this. The only thing I can tell you is that it just takes hard work, time, and patience. With all those things, all those three things together, it's just this long process of going out, shooting, meeting new people, taking photos with them, having fun. They're going to go out and tell people. If people reach out to you, that's when you can start charging. Before I end this video, quick shout out to Mick from Harley Heaven. You can go check out their Instagrams here and Mick's Instagram here. I hope I taught you something new in today's video. I learned a lot about electric bikes and how badly I want one. But with that all said and done, have a shoot one, and I will see you in the next one.
Movie, yeah?
Yeah, movie.
Dangerous, Murphy, this is Murphy, yeah? Yeah, movie, Murphy.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
Welcome to photo shoots.